Do you know why so many people never reach the level of success they dream about? It's not because they aren't smart enough. It's not because the world hasn't given them opportunities. The truth is, most people never make it because they don't pay attention to the little things they do every single day, the small habits, the choices that seem harmless in the moment, but over time, they either build your future or slowly, quietly, they destroy it. See, success and failure aren't accidents. They're not luck, and they're not some mystery that only a few people can figure out. Both are predictable. If you look closely at someone's daily routine, at the way they spend their time, their energy, and their focus, you can already tell where they're headed. Their habits write their destiny long before the results show up. And here's the dangerous part. Bad habits don't knock on your door and announce, "I'm here to ruin your life." They're comfortable. They feel easy. They whisper, "Relax, it's no big deal. Do it tomorrow. Skip it just once." And so you give in. Once, twice, again and again. And slowly, without even noticing, the days turn into weeks, the weeks into months. And one day you wake up realizing you're not even close to where you thought you'd be. You're behind. You've been drifting while your dreams slipped further and further away. That's the trap. Bad habits steal from you quietly, little by little, until all you're left with is regret. But here's the good news. If bad habits can compound into failure, then good habits can compound into success. Just as small neglects take you down, small disciplines can lift you up. Every choice you make is a brick. And day by day, you're either building a prison for yourself or a foundation for your future. And that's why this message matters. Because today, I'm going to share with you 5 of the most destructive habits that can rob you of the life you want, if you let them. But more importantly, I'll show you how to break free before they break you. Procrastination, the thief of time. At first, it doesn't seem dangerous. You tell yourself, "I'll do it tomorrow." But tomorrow has a way of turning into next week, next month, and before you know it, years. And what do you have to show for it? Dreams still on paper, goals still waiting, potential still locked inside. Procrastination is nothing more than delaying what you know you should do today. It's waiting for the perfect time, convincing yourself that conditions will magically align. But here's the truth. The perfect time never comes. Waiting doesn't make the moment better. Waiting only makes you weaker. Think of life like a farmer's field. If a farmer says, "I'll plant my seeds tomorrow," but then tomorrow he delays again, what happens when harvest season comes? Nothing. No seeds, no crops, no harvest. He missed his chance. And procrastination works the very same way. Every day you delay, you miss the chance to plant the seeds of your future. Jim Rohn used to say, "Tomorrow never plants a garden." If you don't sow today, you cannot reap tomorrow. Procrastination is the enemy of your potential. Every day you delay, you trade your future for comfort. And that is the most dangerous trade you can ever make, giving away years of your life just to avoid a little effort in the present. Think about it. You have a brilliant business idea, but you keep saying, "I'll start after the new year." And by the time you finally take action, someone else has already built it. You promise yourself you'll start eating healthy, but you delay again and again, until one day a doctor gives you news you can't ignore. You tell yourself you'll learn that new skill, writing, coding, speaking, but months pass by. Then suddenly, the opportunity that required that skill is gone, and so is your chance. Let me ask you something directly. What is the one thing you've been telling yourself you'll start tomorrow, but you haven't touched in the last 6 months? Be honest with yourself. Write it down, because facing it is the first step to defeating it. And here's the cure. Start small, start today. Don't think about the whole mountain. Just take one step. If you've been delaying exercise, do 5 push-ups today. If you've been putting off learning, spend 10 minutes with a book or a tutorial today. If you've been delaying your business idea, write down the very first step today. Success is never built in a single day. It is built daily. Every choice compounds. And every day you procrastinate, you rob your future self. But every day you take even the smallest step, you invest in your future. I once met a young man in college, bright, full of ideas. He always said, "Someday I'll start my business. Someday I'll write that book. Someday I'll take care of my health." But someday never came. 4 years went by. He graduated, but without direction, without the business, without the book, and without the health he once had. And when I asked him, "Why not?" he said, "I kept waiting for the right time." But you see, my friends, the right time never comes. Life doesn't wait. Opportunities pass by while you say, "Tomorrow." And one day, you wake up, and those tomorrows have become years. Start today, because tomorrow never comes. Negative thinking and excuses, the mental prison. Negative thinking, it's like building a prison with your own hands. No guard at the door, no chains on your feet, just a wall made of excuses, complaints, and blame. And here's the saddest part. Many people spend their entire lives behind those walls, never realizing they were the ones who built them. They say, "I can't succeed because of the economy. I can't move forward because of the government. I can't win because no one supports me." But let me tell you something. It's not the economy. It's not the government. It's not your neighbor. Life gives us all the same wind. The wind of opportunity, the wind of challenge, the wind of change. That wind blows on every one of us. Some rise with it, some fall with it. So what's the difference? Not the wind, never the wind. It's how you set your sail. Your sail is your attitude. Your sail is your discipline. Your sail is the choices you make every single day. I've always said, don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems, wish for more skills. That's the turning point. The weak wait for the storm to pass. The strong learn how to sail through it. Now pause and ask yourself, how many opportunities have slipped through your fingers because you told yourself a story about why it couldn't be done? How many times did you hand your future away to an excuse, to a complaint, to someone else's approval? Here's the good news. You can change the story today. You can take down those prison walls, one brick at a time. Here's a little assignment. Write down just one area of your life where you've been pointing fingers, blaming conditions, or waiting for someone else to make it better. Then ask, what can I do about it? What skill can I learn? What action can I take? The day you stop saying, "I can't because," and start saying, "I will because," that's the day you set your sail toward freedom, toward growth, toward a future of your own design. Because at the end of the day, success is not about the wind. It's about the sailor. And you, my friend, hold the ropes in your hands. Time is life's currency. You trade it every single day. And here's the sobering truth. Once it's gone forever. You can lose money and earn it back. You can fail in business and start again. You can even mend a broken relationship with time and effort. But the hours you waste today, they never return. They are gone, permanently withdrawn from the bank of your life. And yet too many people live as though their supply of time is unlimited. They spend it carelessly, hours swallowed up by gossip, endless scrolling, binge-watching shows or addictions that bring a little comfort, but no progress. It feels harmless. It feels like just a way to relax. But what they don't realize is this. It's like drinking poison one drop at a time. You don't feel the damage immediately, but over the years, it destroys your potential. Think about this. 4 hours a day wasted on meaningless scrolling or mindless entertainment doesn't sound too bad until you add it up. That's 28 hours a week, more than 100 hours a month, over 1,200 hours in a single year, gone. That's 50 entire days of your life, traded away for nothing. 50 days that could have been invested in learning a new skill, starting a business, writing your first book, or building a stronger body. Instead, it vanishes, and all you're left with is regret. Let me ask you something straight. If someone tracked every single hour of your life for the past 7 days, what would the report reveal? Would it show progress, growth, movement towards your goals? Or would it show wasted potential, time poured into distractions that gave nothing back? Here's the reality. Your future is hiding in your daily routine. The hours you keep wasting are the bricks missing from the foundation of the life you're trying to build. And if too many bricks are missing, the house eventually collapses. But here's the good news, you can start fixing it today. For the next 24 hours, write down exactly where your time goes. Be honest. Then find one distraction, just one that is stealing the most from you, and cut it. Replace it with something that feeds your future instead of draining it, because the small leaks sink the big ships. And if you patch them now, you can save your journey. But if you keep ignoring them, one day you'll look back and realize the tragedy. It wasn't that you didn't have enough time, it's that you spent it on the wrong things. Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. And I want you to really let that sink in. Because the greatest loss in life isn't losing money, it isn't even missing an opportunity. The greatest loss is going through life without ever fully investing in yourself. You see, most people today are professional consumers. They'll stand in line for the latest phone. They'll spend thousands on fashion, cars, vacations, gadgets. Nothing wrong with those things, but here's the strange part. The very same people who won't think twice about dropping $1,000 on a new device hesitate to spend $20 on a book, or $200 on a course, or $500 on a seminar that could literally change the entire trajectory of their life. Isn't that interesting? But the truth is this. The marketplace doesn't reward appearances. It rewards value. And value doesn't come from what you own. It comes from what you know, what you can do, and the person you become through growth. If you stop learning, you stop leading. If you stop improving, you start declining. There is no neutral in life. You're either climbing or sliding back. Think of it this way. You could have the most beautiful car in the world, waxed, polished, gleaming in the sunlight. But if there's no fuel in the tank, it won't move an inch. Your mind, your knowledge, your skills, that's the fuel of your life. Without it, no matter how good you look on the outside, you'll stay stuck in the same spot. And here's the sobering question I want you to consider. What if the very next book you read contained the idea that could double your income? What if the next mentor you listened to handed you the insight that could break you free from years of struggle? What if the next skill you learned opened a door to a life you've only dreamed of? Would you still skip it? Would you still say, maybe later? The truth is, fortunes are not made by luck. They're made by those who consistently invest in themselves, who treat their growth as non-negotiable. And the investment doesn't have to be massive. 10 pages of a book a day, 20 minutes of an audiobook while you drive, one new skill every month, small, steady deposits into your future self. Just like money in a bank account, it compounds. And over years, the difference is staggering. Don't wait for life to push you to grow. Don't wait for crisis or desperation, or a wake-up call from the doctor, or a notice from your employer. Fuel your own engine now. Build yourself daily. Because the single greatest investment you will ever make is not in stocks, not in real estate, not in business. It is in you. And when you grow, everything around you grows with you. There was once a man who worked long hours at a job he hated, always broke, always tired. For years, he told himself he didn't have time to read or money to spend on learning. One day, out of pure frustration, he picked up a $10 book on personal growth. That one book opened his mind, gave him ideas he had never considered, and led him to take a small online course. Within 2 years, he had doubled his income, started a business, and completely transformed his family's life. Changed. Not the world, not the economy. He changed because he finally chose to invest in himself. And that decision became the seed of everything else. Not investing in yourself is the greatest loss you will ever face, because it's the loss you don't notice until it's too late. See, money lost can be earned again. A house lost can be rebuilt. A career can be restarted. But the time you waste by staying the same, the years you lose by not growing, those never come back. Most people don't realize this. They think they're saving money by not buying that book, skipping that course, or delaying learning that skill. They tell themselves, "I'll do it later when things are better." But what they don't see is that every day they delay, they're quietly paying the highest price: lost progress, lost income, lost opportunities. Every great transformation begins with one decision: the decision to invest in growth. The man who becomes a leader didn't wait for someone to crown him. The woman who built her own business didn't wait for perfect timing. The student who turned their future around didn't wait for permission. They all started with one powerful choice: I am worth investing in. And here's the truth: life doesn't stand still. It moves forward with or without you. If you're not learning, you're falling behind. If you're not growing, you're shrinking. And that's why neglecting your own growth is so dangerous. It's not just standing still, it's slowly losing ground. I once met a young man who told me, "I wasted 5 years waiting for the perfect moment. I kept saying courses were too expensive, books were too much, mentors weren't worth it. But one day I realized the real cost wasn't the money. It was the 5 years I could never get back." And the pain of that truth finally woke him up. He started small, reading every day, building skills, seeking mentors. And in 2 short years, his life looked nothing like it did before. Your story can be the same, but only if you stop treating your growth as optional. Growth isn't a luxury. It's the fuel that moves your life forward. Without it, you're like a car with no gas. It doesn't matter how shiny it looks, it won't move an inch. So the question is, are you fueling your engine or are you watching it run dry? Because the biggest risk in life isn't losing money. It's losing yourself by never becoming who you were meant to be.